Good afternoon, Internet. I'm your host, HazelPlace89. Welcome to City Skylines 1. We're in Old Samville again today, and excuse me, what I'd like to do is I would like to just kind of watch for a minute because we have buildings coming in, some density and stuff. Today what I'd like to get kind of done is I want to kind of greenbelt right here, like a greenway type situation. And then what I'd like to do, we'll do that probably during the detailing time lapse. But what I really want to do is begin to work over here in our little area. I'm going to delete that. So let's get started. So hope everyone's having a great day. I know I am. We're going to finally get to work on the other side of our highway interchange. We're going to do something like this. We're going to have a nice big district to start off with, and hopefully by the end of this episode, or at some point in the episode, we'll be able to unlock a tile. That would be kind of amazing if we were to do that. So let's just kind of get a rough sketch of our district, and that's what we're going to do. So what I want to first of all do is I'm going to come in with a regular old 2-lane road, and we're going to do a little something. Let's come off of this guideline here. Let's go about there, and we're gonna go just a little ways, but I want to get a 45 over here. And how I like to do this is, if you don't have mods, what you can do to get a 45, just go, let's say 10 units, then go up 10 units, and then connect them through like so, and then you have a perfect 45-degree angle. And they said trigonometry wouldn't help in real life, and here we are. All right, so I wanted to redraw that to kind of get the line to be a little bit more better. So I'm just going to redraw this just so I can get the grid a little bit more gooder. So the whole point of that is I want this 4-lane road to come up and over. So what I think we'll do is we're going to take care of that right now. So what I want to do, let's grab our dirt road. Let's put it, let's go about right here. We're gonna go, just go straight 12 units all the way down like that. What we'll probably have to do is delete that road very quickly. And so what I want to do is I want to grab our elevation step. I want to make it go all the way down. Let's choose a nice 8-unit slope here. And that will be, let's see what we have. That is 12 and that is 8. So what we'll do is I think we can get by with something like this. So let's actually just go straight down another 8. Yeah. And I will adjust where this lines up naturally. So that'll go right here, and we can bring this back all like so. And then I think let's actually draw a straight section of road like that. Then I think that'll be fine. So we can have like a secondary gridded pattern kind of up here like so. Just kind of sketching it out. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's unpause the game, and we're gonna connect this up with a simple curve, and that's about as good as we can get it, to be honest. So now that we have that established, we can go ahead and upgrade to our 4-lane 2-unit wide road. And since we've measured everything out beforehand, we shouldn't have any issues doing what we need to do. And then I think let's have a fun angle. Let's come off about right here. So I've been thinking about how I want to kind of bring in things into this area, and I like the idea really of kind of bringing in density, kind of starting to bring that into the city, which honestly would be a good idea because we have need of it. What does our education system look like? Okay, everything's fine for now. That's really the one I was looking for, is our university. And we have that up here. So what I think we'll end up doing, let's change their default style. I want to change it to Brooklyn and Queens. I like that. I love that pack so much. So here's what we can do. We have these big spaces in here, and I don't anticipate using it'll be more dense. That's what I'm trying to say. But what I think I want to do is we have this beautiful little area right out here, and what I want to do to kind of welcome people into the area, we're going to make the entry point over here very unique and special. Let's go to our unique buildings, and we're going to let's find our city arch. And let's put it right here at the beginning, just as you're coming off the highway. And you can imagine, just imagine it for a moment if you would with me. You have high rises flanking buildings flanking skyscrapers out and about as you're coming through the city arch. So good. So very good. Let's actually, we're gonna need to get some temporary power first. So we'll do that, and then we can follow our fan line all the way down, and then we'll just connect it to that right there. And that should be good to go. Let's unpause this. All right. And here's what we can do as well. Let's take ourselves some more unique buildings, but we can find some plazas, because I was testing a little bit before I started, and some of the, like a large majority of the plazas in the unique areas just fit so perfectly. And I like the idea of maybe having the friendly neighborhood park out there. Oh yeah, fits beautifully. It's like I planned it. So what I want to do, we're going to grab the paths, and we're going to grab that path, and we're just going to do a little something like that. So there we have it. We have that going for us, which is always fantastic. And then I think what we could do in the way of bringing in some uniqueness to the area, I think I like the idea of maybe getting some fancy commercial, like this mall over here, kind of around this area. So what I think we'll do, we're gonna go ahead then, we're gonna just upgrade to our 2-lane road, like so, just so we can have the connection up right here. I think I might upgrade a road to, say, like a fancy grass line road or something. I feel like this would be a four-lane road. But anyway, we'll get there. We'll see we'll see where life takes us. But I'm just gonna come in through here. We're just gonna draw some things in, and we're gonna have ourselves a good time. Because this is 20 units, isn't it? 24 units. Okay. That's totally fine. We're gonna go all the way up. Let's go about right here instead, actually. Yeah. I think I like that a little better. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of grid the area out. And this isn't gonna line up for me, which is totally fine. But what we can do is it kind of adds a little bit of character whenever everything's not entirely perfect, which honestly is totally fine. This one thing that I'm learning through Cities Skylines is that it's okay to have a little bits of imperfection here and there, out and about, all over. So, but what this does is gives us the opportunity to introduce things like skyscrapers and all sorts of cool buildings. And I think I like that as an idea, as a concept, if you will. Have some dead-end roads there. We'll bring in our public transport with our trams will be implemented eventually at some point. But what I think I want to do, let's take a look and see what we have in the way of like unique buildings and things. And like I said, I want to get some like fancy commercial uses over here in this area, because I feel like that makes a ton of sense. So we have the Mall of Moderation, all sorts of cool stuff that we could use. But what I think I'd like to do now is let's actually go to our skyscraper buildings, and let's see if we can't find something to start really setting the tone of the area. I think I like the idea of having this right about here. Yeah. Something like that. not too big, not too crazy, but it's a nice start for the area. Let's see what else we can get into. That's a nice one. I think I may like the idea of having that one on the corner there. So let's keep in mind what it'll look like as we cross through on the highway, and it just looks it's perfect. It's literally perfect. It couldn't, in fact, it couldn't be any more perfect. But we need to actually work on water and things. Let's go ahead and get those in. Get some water pipes right on the road, right where they belong. As City Planner Plays would say. Just connect those up like so. Alrighty, and with all that connected, now it's just a matter of making our power and everything jump, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm not too worried about it there. I don't think they'll disappear or anything, but we are running out of money. So what? Let's go ahead then, and let's work on getting some residential in these areas. Now, I set this district to be the Brooklyns and Queens pack, district styling rather. And so let's go ahead, we're gonna bring in some fairly dense Brooklyns and Queens zoning type in this area. Let's actually remove this little nub here. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, actually, this whole thing is jank. It's broken, but that's okay. Let's put a road here. That'll be good. Draw another one in here. So this is what's cool about having these larger grid sizes, is that you can pretty much just play around and see what works and what doesn't, and you can fill in the space pretty much exactly how you want. So what I want to do is we're going to place a Brooklyn and Queens. I'm having trouble saying that. Brooklyn and Queens right there, like so. And then I think what we'll do is, because I've been doing this in another city that I'm playing just because I like the game, is I'm going to go through with paths, and I'm just going to bloop a path down here. Let's keep our grid on, actually. We're going to do that. We're going to do that, and then we're going to do that. So we have a kind of a path skeleton, sort of, if you will. Bring walkability into this area, and that's something I'm really gonna make sure that I focus on, is walkability out and about around these buildings. And speaking of walkability, what we could do is we could actually upgrade some of these roads to our sidewalk, our 2-lane road with sidewalks, and I think that's actually what I'm going to go for, especially right around in this area. Kind of get parking off the side street if we can. I think I like the aesthetic of that, so I'm just gonna do that this whole area. Why not? We can add parking garages, because kind of really bring home the idea that this is a fairly dense central downtown area of old Samville. Something like this all throughout. And I think it'll look pretty cool too. As we have Sims walking around, we can add special bike paths type things throughout. And I think we'll have a good time with it. I think that'll kind of drive home what I'm looking for. And also too, we have the opportunity to work with pedestrian areas and the like, which I think will be awesome. So let's actually connect these bad boys up to power and such, so they'll stop complaining. They're not exactly doing like what I planned or what I wanted, but that's okay. Nothing a few temporary power lines can. I'm gonna just make sure that we're all connected up and we are good to go. So there's that. Let's go ahead then, and we're going to draw in, or paint in rather, some high density commercial. And I think I like the idea of having some right here. And then I think I like the idea of getting, let's say, let's come here and see if we can't get ourselves a nice parking. Beautiful, right there. And then I think we'll grab another one and put it kind of similar, actually. Yeah, so let's do that as well. We'll put another parking lot, let's say about right there, kind of butted up right next to that path, which is totally fine. Totally cool by me. And then we can get some more Brooklyn and Queens pack stuff and put it in. Now what this gives us is this awkward little space right here, but I have already thought about that, my friends. Let's see if we can't find one of these beautiful little small parks. You can get the basketball park. Little tiny playground is what it's called. And then we have that. So just imagine, if you will, we have little neighborhood, some high density stuff, and kiddos come out and play. And that's kind of the gist of what we're going with. And I'm just gonna draw in, let's draw in some handy dandy path work right there. Kind of really encourage the people to walk. So let's go ahead. We're gonna put that there, and I think we should be able to delete at least one of those, and that's totally fine. All right, so let's go ahead now. Turn our attention to this area, and I think I like the idea of getting some generic office buildings right here. Maybe let's put some all the way up right there. And then I think what we can do is we can find our parking lots again, and we can have a parking lot right about there. Totally cool. Now I understand that the parking thing is kind of, well, if you're wanting it walkable, then why are you adding all this parking? It's so if people decide to like drive into the area, which they very much will, I can go ahead and say, all right, well you can do that, but I'd like to encourage you to do some walking. Park your car and take a hike. You know, this is one of my favorite office assets in the game. I like it. I like it a lot. So this is kind of like where we're at. You know, we're just bringing in some density into the city, making some money. Let's turn on our snappings. Except road guidelines. We don't need those where we're going. Let's just bring that all the way through. Why not? And now that I'm looking at it, what we can do is a little something like this. We can connect that up at an angle. Reconnect our power, actually. So as to not cause everything to scream and die. And our water still connects. And it's fun. So that's just a little thing that you can do. Just have some angles in your grid like this, like that. Have some character. I think I like the idea of adding a path. We've already got a path there, so I feel like that would be a little superfluous. But what we could definitely try is a path like that to kind of connect that up. Very focusing very heavily on walkability in the area, which I think will be fine. And I think I like the idea of maybe getting another big building. Perhaps we could add, this would fit, this would almost be perfect, actually. We could put you, let's put it right, put it right there. Kind of spread them out just a little bit. Yeah, beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our pathway again. And I think I'm going to actually leave a gap on this one. So we can have some like trees lining that if we want. And then I think just because we have the opportunity, we don't have the money yet, but I want to add a parking lot kind of right here, like a parking garage rather. So, you know, this is kind of the point of the story wherein I would say, let's get ready for a detailing time lapse. And I would just like to let you all know that I do have a special trick kind of at the end of the video. So stay tuned till after the time lapse, kind of towards the end, and we're gonna have ourselves a fun little first person camera montage. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go through zone and detail and things. Add our greenway kind of right up here. We could probably add some sparse office or sparse residential kind of in this area too. So I'm going to do that. Have some like apartment blocks, kind of like so. Yeah, something like that. You're going to have those out there. So friends, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get that started, and I will be back with you very shortly. All right, welcome back, everybody. That was a short little time lapse. Not too much to do. First, let's go over the green belt that we laid out. I just wanted to kind of pay homage to my hometown in which I live, and have like a kind of a greenway kind of thing, a walking path, pretty decently long walking path from one side of the city to another. And what I've done is I've kind of started over here with this massive park, and then I wanted to kind of snake it around, have a little footbridge over top of our very busy intersection right here. This might become a 4-lane road at some point, but you know, it is what it is. So we kind of just over with that with the I think this is the nature reserve path, but the bridge is the zoo bridge, because I love this green hanging stuff. It looks really nice. And just drew out some freehanded stuff, and I had some connections going through to there. And I really like the way that this turned out, this little curve around. So you have a greenway entrance here, and then again on the other side. Oh, I didn't want to make any connections on the couplet because that just doesn't make too much sense to me to do that, so we didn't. And this brings us to this beautiful apartment complex. My goodness, it actually turned out quite well. I'm very pleased with the way that this looks. And if we go to this angle right here, we can see some of those high-rise buildings off in the distance, and my goodness, just a look at that. Let's take ourselves a handy-dandy screenshot. That's just so good. So good. So let's scooch on over to our downtown area that's beginning to come in, and I went ahead and I upgraded some of the zoning type of this area. So we still have the Brooklyn and Queens zoning district style, but we added the wall-to-wall commercial and IT cluster district styles as well, or zone stylings. So that'll come through really nice. And I just added a couple plazas out in front right here. It lines up beautifully in front of this beautiful building. And you know what? I'm kind of pleased with the way that this is starting to come in. And I just added some commercial buildings over here right off the tram stop. So hopefully we can get some trams going soon at some point. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all she wrote for this episode. I am adoring the way that this city's coming together. I tell you what. And I can imagine that we'll have some more kind of density, more high-rises elsewhere in the city. But for now, I want to leave it there and stay tuned for after the episode, where I'm going to try some fun things with cameras and views. Well, anyway, with all that said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. It all means a ton. It all helps out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.